Tuesday. Iris and Mileidy here again. And today is going to be a fun day with a fun but important topic. So why don't you tell everybody? I think it's going to be obvious.
So obvious. You see the obviousness?
Today
Oh,
is backwards day, right, Iris?
yes, it is. Those beautiful days when we just get up and everything seems backward and we don't know what to do, how to feel about it.
And and what I love about I mean, it's a good and bad thing, right? Because when you wake up and like you said, everything seems backwards. Woke up late, things are not going the straight way where you planned it and how you wanted it to be. And just like now, I'm sure you felt a little weird the way your shirt is falling on you. And I know you told me even your shoes are backwards today. I did not go that far to make my shoes backwards. But it's interesting because on those days, even though it feels weird, it's not a killer, right? It's
Yes,
yes, yes, it's not a killer. It's not gonna be the end of the world. You just have to adjust with it.
exactly. That's what I tell my client. I'm like, you have this experience, you had this horrible thing that was happening, but look at you, you're still here. You made it through. It
Yeah,
means that you are stronger than what it was or what it is.
exactly. And you're adjusting. And you know what? You may even see the day or your life or different situations a little bit differently because it is that, say. But
Yes,
what can you learn from this day, right? Like what can you learn from this situation? It's important. And not to make rash decisions on backwards day. And what I mean by that is sometimes when things are not going quite right, we make a decision that I always say a permanent decision out of something that's not permanent.
exactly.
I
That's
can always
beautiful.
take my shirt off and put it right side up. We can
Exactly.
always go to sleep and wake up and the day will be better. But when we
Exactly.
make a permanent decision out of a temporary problem, that's an issue. And what I mean by a permanent decision, I was actually talking about this yesterday in a meeting. Um, you know, permanent decision, they mentioned, suicide. I'm like, yes, suicide is a big permanent decision. Of course, that's the biggest.
It's
That's up
huge.
here. But
That's
also things
huge.
like quitting your job,
Yes.
something happens at work and then you're like, whatever, I'm done. And then you walk out.
I had those days. I had those
Yes,
backward
we
days.
have we have some days where that's all we want to do. But that's a permanent solution or a
Yeah, I
permanent
get it.
decision to a temporary problem because then another whole bunch of set of other problems could come up, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes taking a day off, saying, you know what, I don't feel very well today. I need to go home. That may be the solution rather than just
Quit.
quitting. Because
Quit.
it happens to me, and I know Iris, you know this, but I work also in HR, and it happens to me that we've had somebody just walk out of the job, and then they call us back a month later, and they're like, "Am I rehirable?" And I'm like, "No,
No.
you're not rehirable. I'm sorry." But that comes from that. It comes from making that final decision really fast in a moment that is up, in a moment that I feel weird, that doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, how about when you are having a backward moment with your children or spouse and you are so angry and you find yourself making decisions that later on, 99% of the time we all regret. Because
mhm,
once you think about it, it wasn't that big of a deal or didn't go with the decision of the punishment. So one of the things that I always tell my client, do not make a decision when you are angry. You just wait, because that's just a backward moment. Like you mentioned about quitting a job. One day I just walked out of a job. I just walked and, and left. And it was like, what did I do?
yeah,
But everything has solution. Even if you make those decisions at that moment that seem just so detrimental and so final, there's always solution to everything.
yes.
Always. So just wait a little bit. Let the moment pass. Take a deep breath. Take a day off, and you will find the solution to that backward moment.
Yeah, definitely. And I love the fact that you're saying don't make a decision when you're angry. That is so
Mhm.
important when it comes to parenting and children, don't parent when you're angry. And I know it's hard because we usually get angry because the parenting is not quite going right and the kids are not doing the right thing. And I have 3 kids, so I understand that completely. But when you're really, really angry, don't punish. Don't punish because that's when it's easy for it to go too far,
Yep.
or you do something that is too harsh. And I don't just mean like spanking, like or abusing in any way, but I even mean making a punishment bigger. And one thing that is really important is if you say something like, take your phone off for a week or whatever, right? And then you think, man, this wasn't a week long situation. Going
Yeah.
back and saying, you know what, it's only gonna be a day. That is a little thing with parenting that we don't want to do either. We don't want to go back on our word because then the kids feel like it's an okay thing to do,
Yes.
and that we're always going to go back, and so they tend to push us a little bit more for that. So that is something that's important there to kind of
Yeah.
think about. Don't parent when you're angry. Don't make rash decisions when you're angry. Don't make rash decisions on even a backwards day.
Exactly.
When you don't
And
feel
make backwards day fun also. Just because it doesn't feel comfortable doesn't mean you cannot transform the moment to just allow yourself to realize that every moment life brings to you is just to push you, just
yeah,
to bring you forward to something new. How can we evolve unless we feel uncomfortable? So backwards days are also important to grow.
yeah. And to kind of ask, why is today so backwards, right?
Exactly.
What am I supposed to learn from today? I know it doesn't feel like you don't feel like doing that when that's happening, but what am I supposed to learn from this situation?
Learn to walk backward.
Learn to walk backwards. I do that a lot. You actually work different muscles group when you walk
Yeah,
backwards. So in the middle of my walk, I always turn around and I walk backwards.
that's
And
beautiful.
my
I used
daughter
to
and my
do that
husband,
every
who I walk
day.
with, they laugh. They laugh at me. They're like, "Why are you walking backwards?" And I was like, "It's good for you." And I'm just like, "Whoop, whoop,
Yeah,
whoop."
your body will love it.
Just make
I
sure
used
you
to
have
get up.
somebody watching.
I used to walk. One of my routine at 5 o'clock in the morning was to go outside and walk backward
Uh-huh.
every morning. And the kids, because we have a bunch of kids that get up are picked up before 6 a.m. By the school thing, they would just look at me. How are you? Every day, every day. Today is a backward walking day.
So they said backward walking there, you got it.
There you have.
Sometimes having somebody with you that may be able to watch your back when you're walking backwards may be necessary. And this is when bringing in your community is important. On a
Exactly.
backwards days, it's okay to say, I'm having a backwards day. Just help me out. Watch out for me.
Exactly.
And that's good. Bring in your
Exactly.
community.
My daughter, when I have a backward moment, mommy, go meditate.
Ooh,
Sometimes it pisses me off when she said, because I'm like, but then I'm like, okay, I just go meditate.
I do have to go meditate. Yes. I love how our kids know our coping
uh,
skills.
oh yeah,
My daughter and my husband sometimes go, let's go to the beach. And I'm like,
it is so beautiful.
let's go to the beach. You're right. You're right. I need a beach day. And that's usually when I'm having 2 backwards day in a row, right? Like with 3 backwards day, I need
Yeah.
a beach. I
This is
need,
too much. Look at this out. Let's go to the beach.
let's go to the beach. What do you guys do during your own backwards days? How does it feel? How do you cope with it? Have you ever made a full solution to a temporary problem, and how did you fix it for yourself? Um, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and
I hope so
like,
too.
subscribe,
Yes, I
all
am.
that fun stuff. You have a wonderful day.
And be good to yourself. Don't forget, be good to yourself.
Be yourself. Yes. Bye.